Hey, so good morning, everyone. At 7:30 a.m. this morning, Demaurea Grant was arrested by the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force in Gastonia, North Carolina for yesterday's brutal murder of JSO Corrections Officer Brad McNew. Grant, who is 29 years of age, was arrested in North Carolina, in a North Carolina home on charges of murder, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, aggravated assault with a firearm, and discharging a firearm in public. Grant is a convicted felon with a violent criminal history. We're not releasing a photograph of Grant at this time due to reasons related to the ongoing criminal investigation. Once we can release this photo, we'll share it with the public and the media. Grant was arrested with a woman who was arrested on an unrelated warrant related to a crime that occurred in North Carolina. Grant is currently in custody in North Carolina, and he is pending extradition to Jacksonville for his murder prosecution. As a leader of this agency, I'm grateful for the quick arrest of a man who tragically took the life of a member of the JSO family. But today's arrest has a broader impact than Officer McNew's family, this agency, or even the law enforcement community of this state and nation. Today's arrest is about accountability. Accountability for a person who senselessly took the life of a man who was attempting to help another human being in suffering. This murder arrest is about our community's standing in solidarity with those who make the decision to do the good and decent thing. Today, we collectively voice that we will not tolerate when a lawless criminal needlessly takes the life of a human being who is bravely defending a stranger in need and serving the members of this great community. I want to thank our JSO investigators and the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force for their assistance in this investigation. Our state attorney, Melissa Nelson, stands on stage with me today as her office now takes lead in Grant's murder prosecution. Although our hearts will always be heavy with grief, today we are a community galvanized by the hope brought forth by the prospect of accountability. Jacksonville does not tolerate violence. Jacksonville does not excuse violence. With accountability, we can define this act for what it is, murder. And I'm honored that we can be a voice for Officer McNew and his family. Today, with the prospect of accountability, our collective horror turns to collective hope. At this time, I will take any questions that you may have or that I can answer at this time.
Chief, can you talk about the resources that went into finding Grant and locating him there in North Carolina?
A lot. You see him on the stage. There is the U.S. Marshals Task Force, many JSO investigators, the state attorney's office, who is a great partner of ours, and a lot of hours of very hard work. Fortunately, we had some good leads and some really good citizens who stepped up and helped us work this investigation.
And then, Chief, more about Grant specifically. Obviously, the crime happened here in Jacksonville, Florida. Is he from North Carolina? Do we know why he was in this area?
Apparently, he's from North Carolina, and there's a good possibility there were some issues that he was down here trying to get away from up there.
Excuse me, Sheriff.
No problem.
And Sheriff, I hope you can speak a little bit to, obviously the outcome was a tragedy, but is there kind of a positive model to kind of live by, and him helping a stranger in need that we can all take away from this?
So I think I said the night the incident happened that he's the epitome of what we expect in our law enforcement professionals. That is, he was off duty, he was in plain clothes, he saw something happening, he tried to intervene, which is the absolute right thing to do as a decent human being, and not only that, but as a professional. And unfortunately, this clown decided to take his life. But I'm glad that he can answer, he's gonna have to answer for his decision. And I'm super happy that the public came together the way that it did. Our state attorney has been amazing through the process. Our investigators, the U.S. Marshals Task Force, and that's not to say anyone's better than anybody else. This was a collective effort. So I'm extremely happy the way that it turned out. Now we want to make sure that he has to answer to what he's done. Yes, sir.
When you all arrested Grant, was it an easy takedown, or can you walk us through what that was like?
It was, you know, a lot of times criminals, thugs, will do things to people that they feel like can't fight back. But when he was faced with the U.S. Marshals Task Force, didn't want to fight. So he was taken into custody safely, securely, without further incident. And I'm just happy that he was. And I'm thankful to the Marshals Task Force for doing such an amazing job.
Will the woman be charged with anything in relation to this?
We'll see. That's a part of the ongoing investigation. And our detectives are on their way up there now to start the interview process. So we'll see what happens. I can't say whether she will or whether she won't at this point. Yes,
And
sir.
obviously now with this arrest, what's the message you hope it sends to those obviously up to no good in the community?
No, I mean, I think it's the writing's on the wall, right? We don't tolerate violence in our community. Criminal activity for under, no matter what it is, we don't want it happening here. We don't want it happening anywhere. But take it away from Jacksonville, because this is not. We're not touchy feely. This is not an agency that's going to allow you to just do whatever you want and not face the consequences for it. We're going to hold you accountable.
And could you spell Grant's first name, just to make sure we get it right?
Demaurea. Anyone else? Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate it.